someone is so pissed off at a problem, they want to solve their problem and they want to help others as well who is struggling in the same space. If you are solving a problem, people obviously will pay for that. I hear people, they say, I want to start a company, I want to become an entrepreneur. That's really great, and I encourage people to do that. But everyone got to remember one thing.
Welcome back to the Reality Check podcast, where we talk about tech ethics and startups, two of my favorite things. The following is a conversation with Jagan Yetakuri. He's the founder of an early stage startup called Eduverse, a platform for AI driven career mentorship and collaboration, looking to maybe one day replace LinkedIn. Who knows? Get ready for a mind bending episode as usual. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get started? First, I'd like to introduce you guys to Jagan. He is the founder of Eduverse, a very, very early stage startup, but it actually takes a lot of work to get here. So I'm curious to know what kind of stuff you had to do getting to this stage of your startup.
One of the primary things that comes to mind, like whenever we hear about startups, is money. People mostly want to get get a lot of money from startups. That's the primary reason why most people start in colleges. Like most of my friends, they just wanted to feel like sort of their own boss. That's one thing as well, which leads to a lot of people starting to come into the entrepreneurial space. But the core reality of startups or any sort of like even large companies, if you look at any company, everything starts with a problem. Someone is so pissed off at a problem, they want to solve their problem and they want to help others as well who is struggling in the same space. So those are the sort of best startup ideas or companies altogether. There are a lot of companies. If I keep naming them, I could say it for
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. So I, on top of my mind, I could say GitHub. GitHub was actually not the guy's main company. It was just one of his side projects which he built to facilitate his main startup, which didn't work out, and GitHub became the massive thing right now. Like everyone uses GitHub in tech space. Like no company
Oh,
can
I didn't know
survive
that
without this
actually.
GitHub.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. Actually, I really love the guy founder as well. He's
Mhm.
also sort of nerd that I am. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it need not even be your core idea. It's just what people think is their problem, and you need to just solve the problem, not try to make money off of it. If you are solving a problem, people obviously will pay for that. Like right now, I pay $200 for just subscriptions alone, and that's sounds crazy. But to run a startup, I got to have like all the sort of belts I can have under me.
Hmm.
So you just need to figure out what the core problem is in order for you to like at least come up with an idea. And there is a whole different stage from getting an idea and developing that idea to become a company.
Hmm.
So to say in like my view, whenever I started Eduverse, it was a whole different thing. So initially I was frustrated at how bad LinkedIn was and how slow the servers were. So I wanted to create something that could replace LinkedIn. And I was like, okay, what can I do? I could create a new LinkedIn with a better UI, UX, and better servers, but no one's going to join. Like, what's new? It's just better LinkedIn. It's not, there's nothing unique to that. So
Mm.
I wanted to add ability for people to showcase their projects and involve project-based learning, which is one thing that helped me a lot, like while doing learning things in college. So I got to say university classes at this age it's so hard for you to learn anything through universities. You got to do a lot of stuff by yourselves, and yeah, you can watch 100 YouTube videos. Sometimes it works for some people, but I'm not in that zone. So I learned things through building stuff. So I'm like a huge project-based learning guy. I think I have built more than like 30 projects by now in like 2 years of my university time, and it
Whoa.
really helped me to understand core concepts of programming in general. And one of the main areas which everyone tends to negate is critical thinking. That's the core of your entire career or life, I would say, the part which defines who you are. And with AI, yes, it is making us productive, but you also got to use your own brain in some regions, not just AI everything. I would say Google everything, but I don't know what to call AI everything.
Yeah.
So I'll just say AIing everything.
Yeah.
And So projects helped me develop that critical thinking ability and the sort of learning I really loved. So I wanted to integrate two things I really liked. So better LinkedIn and project based learning. And I thought, okay, I'll create a AI which gives architecture for students whenever they want to build a project, because one of the core elements of building a project is designing the architecture for that project. How
Hmm.
many files are there going to be, like what goes into each file? And that's, if you are able to figure out that one thing, the project will be done in like half the time. That's what
Hmm.
takes the longest, like whenever you're programming, what all you need to add and what all you need to have. So I wanted to build an AI which could give you that architecture. And then I started to like build a rough version of an MVP, which is a big blunder. If you if you have said that to me right now,
Hmm.
and later I tried to approach a couple of people on LinkedIn, and turns out no one's willing to help.
Yeah.
uh, I at least thought no one's willing to help early stage founders. They only people only care about like people who have funding, or a tech giant. I mean, who is into like a software industry and like retired and now starting a company, or have done so many friends in the Bay Area and then starting a company.
Hmm.
But I tried to like message few people on LinkedIn, and luckily I found a mentor there. I had my first professional call with that person. I never had any interviews or anything like before with a CEO of a company. And even the kind of approach that I have gone to him like was crazy. He started a new company. It's been like 1 year. So I was like, congrats on your 1 year at your company. And he was like, yeah, thank you so much. And then I was like, do you think I can help you in any sort? And he is like, we are not hiring. I mean, straight away, I was like, oh my God, I messed up. And
Yeah.
then I tried to like say, yeah, I'm not like totally saying about you hiring me. I was mostly like trying to see if you need any help in that sort of software side, because I want to like gain all those skills. And then I asked, could you maybe help me understand this stuff about entrepreneurship, because he is a serial entrepreneur. He knows like how companies run. So I wanted to see if he would maybe even have a quick 10-minute call with me. So I was like, can we have a 10-minute call? And he's like, okay, pick a time. And I was literally jumping on my bed, like, yay, I got
Yeah.
a call from a CEO of a company. That's like a
Yeah.
huge thing. And then I had a call with him, and he's like, okay, so what now? What do you want to do with this? And I was like, I don't know. I just got this idea, and I was building on it. And then he explained me that if you're trying to explain something to a different person, don't imagine that they know about your niche and like whatever you're doing. They don't know nothing about you. So you need to explain it that like if you are explaining it to a 5-year old, or
Hmm.
like a high schooler. So you need to give in-depth details of like every single element. No one knows anything. Everything's in your mind. Great, but I can't read your mind. And then he also introduced me to a couple of pitching techniques. Like you should be able to pitch in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I took like 1.5 hours to just present my concept to him, and I don't even know how much time he had that one day that he spent like 1.5 hours with me.
Yeah.
Uh, but then I realized like what mistakes I have made, like while trying to convey my ideas. And then we went back and forth with the business models and stuff like that. He sent me a couple of YouTube videos, and even their company's business models, so I can take a look at that and get inspired and build everything. And if I hadn't had that call that day, I don't even think Eduvas would be existing like right now. The one
Wow.
thing you got to do is get out, talk to people. Even though you hear, I think I messaged like 30 or 40 people, and only one person responded back to me.
That's
So
insane.
you'll
Yeah.
hear no's every single time.
Hmm.
Expect no and only then message people. And then
Yeah.
even now, like, okay, I'm not like a crazy founder, but even now when I have a startup with 200 people, and if I do message people now, they don't respond. Like, actually, CEOs of companies have like CEOs and like directors, vice presidents of companies give better responses than students. I would say that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely a numbers game, from my experience just reaching out to people. But yeah, I love your point about, have a mentor, first of all. A mentor is extremely invaluable. And then also explaining it I saw this thing like explain it like you're explaining it to your grandma or something. Like
Oh
they
yeah,
still like
that's
understand.
better, I guess, than like a
Yeah,
five
no,
year
I
old.
didn't create this, but I definitely just saw this online. Yeah, I think that's interesting. But I'm also curious about, what you were talking about this earlier before like our recording, but
Mhm.
what does it take to like test what your consumers want and like your audience wants? How do you methodically do that for a startup?
One of the primary things that you need to figure out even before building an MVP, which the mistake that I have done personally, is trying to talk to people. Like my customers, they are students and recruiters. Obviously, I don't have a lot of connections with recruiters, so I can't like go to a company and be like, "Hey, can I talk to your recruiting team?" So that wouldn't work for me. So I started off on the other end, student side. I think I talked to close to 400 students
Oh wow,
before.
just one-on-ones.
Yep, one-on-ones with
Okay,
400
nice.
students. Like sometimes on Zoom or sometimes like whenever on campus, like I just bump into people. Like in my classes, I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think about this concept?" Like I'm like so much struggling to get a job these days. I don't know like what to build. Like, do you have any idea? And they're like, no, man, I just don't even know how to start. I mean, I did do a couple of classes and
Yeah,
I think I did one project in that class and that's on my resume. And I'm like, okay, I did 30 projects. And even
yeah.
that is, even with all that, I'm unable to get a find an internship, not a job. And
Hmm.
how are you thinking that you can get an internship with like one project that you did in a class, which isn't even like a crazy ass project of like building an LLM. Like I have built LLMs and I'm not getting internships.
Yeah, the job
So
market right now.
I mean, the job market is not so bad, honestly. Like people blame everything on the job market. The job market, it is there, but it is only there for people who are skilled enough. You need to upgrade your skills from the traditional university style classes to building stuff and learning fine tuning of AI. Like I personally know of a lot of startups who are looking for AI engineers. Even I'm looking for AI engineers, which is like so hard to find because
Hmm.
everyone's great at software and like universities are teaching them very well. Great. What's next? People are working on AI. You need to start working on those sectors which there is a high demand in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with
So
all
it's just
the,
you need to keep ideate. Oh, sorry, I
yeah, no,
break
no,
you.
no, go on. Yeah.
So you just need to keep talking to a bunch of people, talk, talk, talk. Only then you are going to realize, okay, what people are looking for. And call me crazy, but every single conversation I had with a person, I see it as a business idea. Like, let's say I'm talking to a friend, like he says something, it's, yeah, I think that's bad, man. And I come up with a concept how to solve that problem. That's a business
Hmm.
idea. You need to have that sort of entrepreneur mindset. Like, whenever I'm talking to my friends, I'm always on him. My mind just builds an entire industry altogether for that small problem. So you
Yeah.
just need to find a solution for their problem instead of finding a solution for your own problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Like what you said in the very, very beginning of this, like every business is just surrounded by this one very painful problem. And how painful that is like how much, like how can this scale up, basically. I think that's definitely interesting. I mean,
And actually, I think I contradicted to my own startup because my startup grew out of my frustration, and which isn't like a great thing. I also need to see if people have the same frustration as well,
mhm.
and that sort of bias also leads to destruction of our own ideas of like startup, because like I always love my own idea. I can't criticize my own
Yeah.
idea, and even if whenever you're saying it to people, if I'm talking to my ideal customer, never say that you are building a project. Like I never say to people that I'm working on a company which helps them get hired, because obviously then that bias that I have towards me is going to pass through them, and they'll be like, yeah, that's a real cool idea, man, I never knew that existed. I'm legit going to use that. And go back to him after 2 days and ask if he has used your app, and he's like, oh, I really forgot, man, sorry.
Yeah.
Personally saw that. So never ever say what you're working on until the end, because that
Hmm.
sort of bias travels towards you. Like if I ask you now whether you'll use AWS, obviously you're going to say yes. But
Hmm.
in reality, I don't even know like if you really had that problem, because I'm just implying that you had that problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious about Adiverse, like what exactly is the platform about? Is it like each user has an account kind of similar to LinkedIn or a profile? Like what
Yep.
exactly?
So, Azure's current stage, I mean, obviously, is going to change a lot even after this call, because
Yeah.
it's just constant feedbacks from users. So, current stage Azure's is an app where you can develop your skills by working on projects set by recruiters themselves. So, obviously, I can put up like 50 projects, and they might not be of any use because companies are looking for talented people, and I can't assess what that recruiter really likes or what the company really wants. So I want companies to come out of their comfort zone and set projects so that you as a high schooler can work on that project and impress that recruiter. Let's say
Mm.
uh, you can think of it as lead code for projects, basically. So you'll
Oh, I
work on
see.
that
Okay.
project and then you'll be added to the leaderboard. You can work so hard and you can rank on the top, and you'll get an internship at that space. So you for sure know that this project is going to land you a job instead of
Mhm.
shooting in the air and seeing if it hits a bird. You for sure know what you can do in order for you to succeed in this job market. And for
Mm.
companies, like that's golden, honestly. Like a lot of companies spend tens of thousands of dollars developing courses for universities. I have seen a lot of this. Actually, my mentor told me about this. Even I didn't know companies used to do that. But in a hospitality area, a lot of companies spend a lot of money in universities to train people to their company's values or tactics or performances so that they can hire directly from that course. And I don't know why a lot of tech giants in the software side or programming side aren't adopting to that. I do see a couple of companies do that, like Microsoft. They have some sort of collaboration with George Mason, like my university.
Mhm.
But it is so hard for people to understand what they need to do. Like as a student, I don't know what I need to do for me to get an internship. So I want to bridge that gap of not knowing what to do.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's a really big thing of like culture differences between tech companies, big tech companies especially, which I think that could be an interesting problem to solve as well. But yeah, especially that big gap of like early grads or even like current college students getting internships, I think that's a major, major problem. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely
Yeah.
interesting.
Honestly, I miss something. The biggest buzzword that's going on right now, AI.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't said about AI in my platform. Why? Because that's not the core thing that I want to highlight. You got to also remember that, like, if one thing is like buzzword, like in 2021, everyone talked about crypto. Every company, we had crypto because it's the buzzword and everyone wants to hear that. And now it's AI. Every single startup that's booming right now, excluding the sort of physical products, every single tech startup uses AI. Why? Because it is efficient, I agree. But you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to like label your startup AI every single time. You got to
Mm-hmm.
like stick to your core as well at the same time. You don't need to like always talk fancy words as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I think,
something like people always think, like whenever
yeah.
if I'm like explaining things to you, the first thing I would start is, yeah, I have this crazy AI mentor which helps students with a personalized AI. That's a whole different concept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't even think, I don't even know if I can say this or not, but that's
Yeah.
something that we are personally working on in Eduverse is personalized AI
Okay.
for students.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to understand who you are and what your learning style is, which no company till now was able to build. I mean, I don't even think that we are able to build it, but either way, we are trying to build it. And the thing that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to build, we are competing with Mark, who's spending
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of dollars, and
And
we
he's
spending,
poaching. Yeah.
yeah, and me spending the $500 a month to run an entire startup. We are
Yeah.
competing with them. But yeah, it's just you need to understand your main concept, and that is going to be your selling point, not the buzzwords as well.
No, yeah. I feel like when people introduce to me a startup idea as AI first or like based on I immediately think of it as like a ChatGPT wrapper. Like I can't get my mind past that after. Like I like how you introduced yours as kind of a platform because if it was just an AI mentor, then I would just think, so it's
Yeah, why
ChatGPT.
not ChatGPT? Why can't
Yeah.
ChatGPT do that, right?
So like
So
what's the
that's the
difference?
most obvious thing because I'm like I got to say, even though I'm biased towards my own company, I can't compete with ChatGPT or
Hmm.
Llama or Anthropic Claude, basically,
Yeah.
because they are tech giants. They have tons of data, and they did come from this stage, but they are like way ahead of my term. So
Hmm.
obviously, I can't compete with them at this point. So I got to like source what I have now and try to build off of that to at least get to a stage where I can be a good sort of back end version of ChatGPT, because obviously it's going to be
Yeah,
the
I
first
mean,
thing that people go to always.
yeah, like I feel like you were mentioning like Claude and all these big AI companies. I feel like they're doing more of, the scientific work of AI, or like further developing AI. I feel like the startups or like the up and coming new ideas are like using those tools. Well, that's kind of an AI
Yeah, yeah.
wrapper.
I mean,
But
I
like,
agree with that. Like half
yeah.
of the stuff that we are using right now is built by Google. I
Yeah.
forgot I forgot the side of the Google Scholar, not Scholar,
Oh,
something I
Colab
forgot.
or
I think
Alphabet?
so. I don't remember the name exactly, but everything that we are building is built by Google right now.
Mhm.
I even forgot the guy's name who built it. He also won a Nobel Prize in physics department because sadly there is no Nobel Prize in computer science.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they are going to pull that off. But
Really?
everything that we see today is either built by Google or IBM, the first sort of machine learning computer that they have built, the
Hmm.
Big Blue or something. I don't remember the name exactly, but it was actually built to play chess. It defeated
Oh, yeah.
then Grandmaster, who was so furious that he said some things to Google. I mean, IBM.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's some crazy big tech backstories that we probably can't get into right now. For
Yeah.
the sake of time, I guess my last question for you is just, do you have anything like your last message? Hmm.
I hear people, they say, I want to start a company, I want to become an entrepreneur. That's really great. And I encourage people to do that. But everyone got to remember one thing. If you want to start a company, you're going to lose your social life. Like right now, I don't even think I have a lot of friends. Like I do talk to a lot of people, but I don't hang out with them. Like every single time they are like, let's go out, do something. And I'm like, no, I need to like program, I need to work, and it's just that sort of sacrifice that you got to do. I spoke to a lot of founders, CEOs, and everyone has come from the same path. Like whenever you hear the story of Steve Jobs, you feel like, yeah, that's so fancy. I'll just drop out of college and I'll become the next Steve Jobs. But no
Hmm.
one sees the amount of work that Steve Jobs has put in. Steve Jobs, I mean, if you really know Steve Jobs, you're going to hate that man. Like he's such an uh, I don't want to like curse on Cam, but he's such a cruel person. Like everything has to be in his way, or it's not there. He
Hmm.
yells at his employees, and people hate him, like really hate him. But he's at the end of the day, he's successful, and everyone remembers his success, not how he succeeded. And you got to have that visionary in you. Like once Steve Jobs left Apple, Apple died, and once he's back, Apple did good. And then after he died, like after Tim Cook came as the CEO, I mean, I need not say it. You already know what's happening with
Yeah.
Apple right now.
It's kind
So
of
it says that
plateauing.
you need to have that sort of raw passion for technology. Like, don't get me wrong, Tim Cook, he's such a great operator. Because only because of him, like Apple is at this stage, like he's such a great operator, like COO. He was CEO of Apple because before he became the CEO. Only because of him, they were able to like gain that mass grip in the market because he's able to like do all the coordination and stuff, but he doesn't have the visionary bone that the Steve Jobs had. So you
Hmm.
just need to keep thinking of what the future is and how you want to design it, not just the money. Yeah, that's the primary thing. Like you can't run a company without money, but the money is only going to flow if you have a product which people want to buy. So you always got to concentrate on the product. Money, I mean, it's just the sort of chicken and egg problem. You need to have
Yeah.
money and you need to have a product. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for giving us all this advice and also talking about like the real stuff of what it takes to start a company because I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. But yeah, thank you so
Yeah, and
much for being
honestly,
on.
like the only thing that you need to do is talk to people. That's it. If you're talking to people, gates are going to open. Like I got into so many incubator programs because I just talked to them and they're like, yep, you're doing great. Come on, I like your passion. You just need to show people
Yeah.
your passion. That's the primary thing. That's what my mentor even said. I saw a sort of raw passion in you whenever I first talked to you. And only because of that reason, a CEO became a mentor for literally no one. I just had an idea back in December. It's
Mhm.
you need to show them that raw passion that they once had while building their first startup.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Jagan.
Yep, thank you so much for inviting me as well, and yeah, hope this helps someone.
Yeah. Okay.